Hello, everyone. This is William Armstrong with a bit of an audio-only type podcast. I'm going to talk about how not to scam people on social media and make a large amount of money for it, and then it comes back up to bite you in the butt later on. The person named is Idris Kiba, a professional when it comes to the banning and unbanning of Instagram accounts, who ran the Unlocked for Life, claimed he made more than $600,000 a month. It also says, this is on 404 Media, but it says, Meta sues alleged Instagram extortionist. Ouch. Okay, Meta is suing a scammer who allegedly and proficiently extorted people by banning and unbanning Instagram accounts. The lawsuit filed on Tuesday is against Idris Kiba, who ran the Unlocked for Life extortion scheme, according to an earlier criminal complaint filed by prosecutors. Kiba, a self-described professional when it comes to the banning and unbanning of Instagram accounts, admitted on the Adam 22's No Jumper podcast in January 2024 last year that he had over 200 people who pay him monthly to maintain access to their accounts, and he claimed he made more than $600,000 a month with his scheme. Obviously, Idris Kiba is an idiot for blabbing about it and bragging about it, and look what happens. The feds caught up to him. On the podcast episode, Adam mentioned that celebrities have fallen victim to similar extortion crimes, and Kiba responded that they're getting extorted. Part of the Unlocked for Life extortion scheme included threatening to murder victims if they didn't cooperate, according to the criminal complaint. A federal grand jury in the District of Nevada indicted Kiba in August 2024 in the case that's ongoing, charging him with 2 counts of violating interstate communications law for sending messages threatening to injure or kill 2 victims. The indictment goes into detail about the harassment Kiba allegedly doled out against people who didn't comply with his scheme, including sending hundreds of thousands of text messages, racial slurs, messages threatening to kill them, and photos of a man with a bloody face. Here's the last guy who came to take photos, came near my home, the text said. In one case, he threatened to blast out a victim's social security number and demanded she pay him $20,000 to stop harassing her, according to court documents. Meta's new complaint accuses Kiba of selling authorized Instagram services, including A, the ability to disable user accounts, B, user account reinstatement services intended to circumvent enforcement actions taken by Meta in response to users who violated their Instagram's terms of use, terms, and other rules that govern access to user Instagram, including Instagram community standards collectively and Instagram's terms and policies, and C, fake engagement services intended to artificially inflate followers on Instagram user accounts, among other things. The complaint also claims that Kiba was running the same grift on X, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, and Telegram. Ouch! In February 2024, right around this time last year, Meta sent Kiba a cease and desist letter, revoked his licenses to access Facebook and Instagram, and disabled his accounts, according to the complaint. But Kiba made a new Instagram account to get around the bans, Meta alleges. Meta's complaint is a look into how easy it is to manipulate its own reporting and moderation features. The company says Kiba got people's Instagram accounts banned by simply submitting fake reports claiming that they were violating the platform's terms. When Kiba submitted the misleading reports, Meta alleges, Instagram disabled the account on the same day and in some cases reinstated on the same day too. Yeah, so Idris Kiba is completely an idiot, a complete POS for doing exactly that. Like he was doing a hack and payback, and obviously Engadget posted an article about this as well. Idris Kiba gets nabbed after he brags about it on the No Jumper podcast, which was a dumb thing to do. I'll read a little bit on the Engadget article on the Engadget website at engadget.com/hack-and-payback. That's essentially what the article is, but I'll read it. If you search Idris Kiba, IDRISSQ IBAA, it'll come up in search engine results about what he did. Okay. The thing is with Idris Kiba, well, he advertised that service a lot on unlockedforlife.com and also went by the handle of Danny and Unlocked. Well, that has been long taken down. Adam22 hosted Idris Kiba, also known as Adam Grandmason, on the No Jumper podcast, and Idris Kiba ran the alleged extortion scheme on April 1st, most likely in 2024, a lot. But his pseudonym, Danny itself, is what the pseudonym that Idris Kiba came up with to hide under. His biggest downfall was him blabbing about the fact that he ran it. He blabbed about it, so opening a podcast that led a tip to the FBI and it got him nabbed. So basically, he outlined a financial scheme using over 200 victim social media accounts in which he would lock them out of their pages and charge them to get access to it again. He also boasted he made about $600,000 a month from his activities and hired 2 security guards to follow him. He's making $2 million off your Instagram and Telegraph, Kiba says on the podcast, or he says you're making $2 million off your Instagram and Telegraph, Kiba says on the podcast. I come and take it away, and I make you pay for it back, and I make it public, and I post it and expose you, which was a stupid thing of Idris to do. Now he's a convicted felon. Kiba even said in the podcast episode that he pulled the scheme on celebrities who unknowingly kept paying him to get their social media back. He later noted that I'm very petty, followed by a menacing laugh. I've talked to stars who have told me that they pay to get back 20 times over and over and over. They just have to keep paying to get it back, Kiba says. And I'm like, you realize what's happening to you, right? Like the same that getting you it back is you're getting extorted. That's what the Engadget article has. The criminal complaint tells the story of 8 victim encounters with Kiba and his services. One identified as JT operated 2 Instagram accounts, a cannabis news aggregate account called the Blacklist XYZ, and a cannabis merchandising store under Khaled Plug, both which are currently set to private. JT reached out to Kiba asking if he could obtain a username. Kiba quoted a price back between $4,000 and $5,000. JT refused to take Kiba up on the offer, and Kiba responded with threats. Kiba told JT that JT had wasted Kiba's time, blocked JT's Instagram pages, and demanded $10,000 to reinstate it. The complaint reads, JT offered Kiba $8,500 to reinstate the account, an offer that Kiba accepted. The complaint asserts that Kiba reached out to JT 2 more times. The first time Kiba asked if JT would promote his Instagram page under the username Unlocked for Life that's been since taken down. JT agreed, but when he learned that Kiba had been threatening and extorting other victims, he confronted Kiba, and Kiba was irate. A few months later, Kiba apparently increased the scope of his threats to JT and members of his family. He then sent threats to call the victim's ex-wife, lawyer, and child protective services on his kids. Screenshots of the victim's phone showed Kiba allegedly identifying the address and phone number of the victim's sister. He texted another family member and introduced himself as the guy that's going to murder your drug dealer brother. Tell him Unlocked says hi, though. We have your entire family's info. Another victim, identified as a journalist and comedian with the initials EH, learned that they were target of Kiba's illegal services. Kiba blocked their Instagram account, the name of which was redacted, at the request of a dentist in California who treated them. EH reached out to the Unlocked for Life account and received a reply that read, "Yo, it's Idris." He then told EH to pull up the No Jumper podcast episode featuring his interview. Kiba not only took the victim's Instagram account access away, but also threatened to take their social security number and blast it out if they didn't pay him $20,000. Idris Kiba is a complete idiot, a complete ding-dong. He stupidly decides to tell someone to pull up the No Jumper podcast featuring his interview, which was a stupid move on Idris. That's what led to him being nabbed by the authorities. Smooth move, Idris Kiba. You're a complete idiot for that. According to the complaint, not even restraining orders can make Kiba leave his victims alone. One named RB received a restraining order from Los Angeles County Superior Court in July, but Unblocked responded, Cute restraining order. Last I checked, you're still gonna die. Then unlock uncensored posted on Telegram. $50,000 reward for whoever sleeps BO this week. Perhaps the most disturbing threats happened to several victims in which Kiba claimed he'd have to go to jail if payments weren't made to him. Screenshots of the text chain show a person named Danny and Daniel telling his victims, "I will come and shoot you myself. I'm going to bury you for this shit." And DLJT children main targets are sharing the victims' children. Another text chain shows Kiba allegedly threatening someone that he would rather take a life sentence or murdering you than this. "I don't care if I have to shoot you myself, and I'll go to jail happily." He follows the text message with the threat. "Here's the last guy that came to take photos, came near my home," and then sends 3 pictures of an unidentified bearded man in his car and a photo of his badly bruised and bloodied on the ground. Adam22 concluded his podcast interview with Danny saying he was very excited to see the fallout from this, and "I respect the hustle even though I can't justify it on a moral level." There you go. That is exactly Idris Kiba, aka Unlocked for Life, that ran a stupid scheme that defrauded people out of large amounts of money, especially celebrities. And obviously, look where it landed him, behind bars as a convicted felon. He stupidly begins to blab and brag about it on the No Jumper podcast, and when that got leaked onto YouTube, the FBI got a tip. Someone tipped off the FBI to that No Jumper podcast with Idris and got him into so much trouble, and Meta sues him for doing what he did. Why can't scammers just use their brain and realize what they're doing is completely illegal and they can get arrested for it? This is William Armstrong signing out. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.